Hello, this is Joe83. This is the start of a brand new series on my channel. Well, sort of a series. It's a brand new league I've joined, which is STSF1, but it is the Tier 2 division. And we're in Australia here in my lovely Renault car for the season, and it's a new league. I've not raced in it before, but I'm racing it now for this is their season 2, and it's going to be quite fun. I've got a few people I know in this tier you might recognise from AOR, and coming into my qualifying lap now in Australia, the first race of the season. I hope a good result. And through turn 1, I haven't raced in Australia for a little bit. I went to this race pretty much with no practice at all. So yeah, I've just put high wings on as well. So it's a completely new setup to me. I don't have a clue what it's like because I've literally just made it for the wet race, and that might compromise the qualifying a little bit. Going through turn 4 and 5 now, I've run a little bit wide, and that's the first lap gone. So that's gone really well. So lap 1 was a write-off straight away, and now onto my second lap, I just went straight away for another lap. And yeah, I backed off on that lap, which is why it's 6.5 seconds off the pace. So hoping for better things this time. Hopefully I don't invalidate my lap and I can actually set a good time, because I should be around the top 5. I like to say definitely like points to every race I'm hoping for, and yeah, I'm hoping for around top 5 through podiums in the race. If the country turn 4 again, I've lost the back end, and that's my qualifying session over. So I hope it to be really consistent this season, and it starts off with a crash. That's gone really well. And I'm now at the race, and I didn't set a lap time obviously, so I'll be starting 15th, which is last. And you can see a few of my teammate ESRMAs in 7th there, Devout, who's also an F3 on pole, and I think Fredster was somewhere, yeah, 9th there. He's also an AOR F3, and there's a few drivers in here you might recognise, I don't quite know, from other leagues if anyone does any of that. So let's get straight into the race then. For the Australian Grand Prix, it's heavy rain for the whole race, it looks like. 5 red lights now for the Australian Grand Prix, and it's lights out, and away we go from 15th place. It's a very good start compared to Taurus alongside me. I'm already past him, and now going down towards turn 1, we're trying to keep it out of trouble. And the Williams has gone off to my left as well, so we're up into 13th already, getting 2 positions, going past the other Williams on right hand side. It's very spray everywhere, and I've been punted by someone. Don't know who that was, but that pushed me a lot wide. And there's a McLaren goes on the inside. We've gone around him up into 11th already, so I was completely pushed wide on turn 1. Don't quite know who it was, but like obviously turn 1 in the wet with this is no assists obviously, so difficult to do. But now through turn 3 we're going up the inside of the Mercedes and try and just keep my front wing parts, really. That's all that matters at this point, because I won't be stopping for a while, because it's going to be a full wet race until maybe right at the end. But the Taurus enemy is losing his back end everywhere. I'm going to try and up this inside, but he's lagging also a little bit. You can see the red bar above his name, so might not go too well. But down towards turn, I think 8 this is, and through here we're getting a decent run, but we got a little bit of oversteer exit. And this is one of the first times I've driven online in the wet as well. I think it is the first time I've driven in heavy rain online. The only time I've driven in the wet was in my career mode, but that's in a Salva, so it's not really comparable. So yeah, that's a lot of oversteer now through the down towards the back straight, and I'm almost in the barrier. And HRF, or whatever that name is, Senna, is going up the inside in his McLaren, and down towards the fast left-right chicane. He's going to have me here, and he comes over me quite a lot there. I could have lost front wing there quite easily, but luckily we didn't. And now down towards the next corner, can we get a decent run? And we got on a lot of the curbs on exit, so that's affected my run through that corner quite badly. But we might still have a chance if he makes a mistake through this next corner, and he's missed the apex a little bit. I've got a decent run, and he's gone on the exit curves this time, so I've got a decent traction through that next corner, through the third last corner, up the inside of the McLaren, and a lot of it oversteer, and he's now ahead of me, but he's going to come across me once again, as he did previously. He's come across me massively. I've gone for a switchback though, and we've got a lot of oversteer in second gear, and yeah, a lot of drifting through the last corner. Can we hold it? Yes we do. But now we've got Kvyat, STSF1 Kvyat just behind me as well, so that's not going to go well. But hopefully we can hold position from him. But now cutting onto lap 2 now, and we've just caught up to the back of the McLaren again. It's in a little bit of traffic. There's a Taurus up ahead. A Storm Lance has gone off the track, gone around the outside. Can we hold it around the outside of the next corner? And he's coming across me. He's got the apex, but he completely pushed me off there. So as you can see, people aren't afraid to get the shoulders out a little bit, and yeah, a little bit rude, I'd like to say, but I don't have a problem. I'll just try and overtake him a bit later on, but going purple obviously because it is lap 2. Can we get a good run through the chicane now? And yes, we have got a decent run through the first and the second chicane over the curbs, but onto the green part of the track, the artificial bit, and that has gone well for me. And I've got a decent run on Storm Lance now. We're through the next corner, and can we do it? What we did to the McLaren in the previous lap? Yes, we do. He's gone wide over the curves once again. I've got a decent run down towards the third last corner, and we're up the inside. And this time he's not close enough to hold that position around the outside. We've got a little bit of side on the exit, but no harm done. I'm up into 11th place, and the points are just there. And obviously I think I was out of position in qualifying. I like to think I would be about, well, as I said, like near the top 5 if that's possible. Now onto lap 5 now, I feel that's later, and there's a yellow flag up ahead. I don't know what this is for, but I'm up to 10th, so I think someone might have pitted earlier. There's Fredster who's completely bottled it, and he's now at the race, so that's another position for me. I've been to 9th, and he's out the race. I don't quite know what happened, but I was in a party with him. I think he just made a mistake battling someone, so yeah, he's now out of the race. Obviously, that's gone well for me because he's probably going to be one of my rivals this season, as like I do know him quite well, and like we are pretty competitive with each other. And now we're coming up to lap 7. Two cars, Pickles and Senna, are going very defensive on each other, but I've got to try to do a switch track move on Senna as we did earlier in the race, and we've made it stick this time, I think, as he's not very close to holding it on the outside there. So yes, we have decent move there, trying to take advantage. Well, I did take advantage of their battling and did a switch track move on him quite well. And through that corner, I've made 3 overtakes now. Or I've attempted to make. No, I have made 3 overtakes actually. So that's gone pretty well. So now onto the back of Pickles, who was the Assist2 champion last season at AOR. I was the Assist1 champion, if you didn't know. So this is a bit like head-to-head between Assist1 and Assist2, just to settle everything. Obviously, no assist on this game, so we've come a long way already. But now right in the back of him through turn 2. And a bit of oversteer there, but no harm done really, and I got a bit of grass on my tyres maybe, but there's nothing much we can do about that now. And through the chicane on lap 8 now, on the same lap on Pickles still. Can we get a good run through this corner? I've been quite a lot stronger than the rest of the drivers so far. I've been racing through this section of the track specifically. Can we try and make another move into the next corner, which has been my favourite corner so far in the track. Trying to do a switch track move, let him run wide on the track, and yes we do, down the inside. Through the next corner, as we've seen it multiple times now, and up the inside of Pickles, and yes, we've just about got a position, leaving the space on the outside, but then he goes up to the curbs, loses a bit of momentum, and we're up into 7th, so that's a bit of a gap ahead now, you can see on the move out to Street Gamer. I think it's just pitted or something. They might just made a move actually, so yeah, now a lot of laps later, lap 12, and you can see I've pulled away from Senna quite a lot, and we've kind of closed on Codfield a bit, and I'm getting messages from Fred because obviously he's got nothing better to do after he crashed out, so that's very nice of him. And coming to the pits, I'm going to go for an undercut because it's definitely going to be wet for another like 20 minutes or so, I think Jeff was telling me at this point, so it's worth trying to go for an undercut, debating whether to change the downforce, but I decided against it. And going for an undercut because Codfield was a long way ahead of me, so if I can just get a few laps undercut, that will kind of help me close a bit of a gap up to him, and hopefully we can get close enough to overtake in the next stint. Obviously I don't think I'll undercut him completely because he was about 6 seconds ahead, but this hopefully will gain me about a second or 2, and that will mean I'm a little bit closer, try and close the gap up and take that 6th place away from him. But onto the next lap now, and Codfield is in the pit lane, so you can see how effective this undercut has been, if it has been effective at all. And he's still, you can see him, he's a little bit closer on a minimum now. I do set a purple lap, so that's a bit psychological aspect of the race. Obviously, if the driver sees that, he kind of thinks he's a bit quick. They might start making mistakes and stuff, but I don't know. I don't know him at all really, so don't know if he's that sort of person. But now Kvyat, who hasn't pitted yet, on his very old wet tyres, is still just there. You can see on the track now. There's Codfield, I think, in the Red Bull just ahead of him, just ahead of me. So Kvyat goes wide through the second last corner and actually does peel into the pits. So that's pretty helpful. But Codfield there, you can just about see the back of his spray on the track now. So I'm getting a little bit closer, but now the car goes slowly. And it's Senna once again, who also hasn't pitted yet, so he's gone very far on his wet tyres. It must be quite close to puncturing. I think that might have been what happened, because he's going very slowly on the inside, and I'm back up into 6th. So I don't know, someone must have pitted or something, because I gained a net position anyway, so Codfield's the next car ahead of me. I think it might be a Street Gamer or something who pitted a bit. I must have made a mistake or something, but now on to lap 22, a lot later in the race, and you can see the blue skies are a little bit starting to emerge, and I've told Jeff to box this lap because it's almost time for inters, I think, and Jeff did tell me that going past the pit lane on the previous lap that he thinks it's time to change over, and basically 5th is the best I can manage. Like 4th is another 10 seconds or so up the road, so in like 7 laps I'm not really going to get it, and especially as Codfield now pits, I'm going to pit with him, play it safe, try and overtake him on track. There's a big gap behind, so I shouldn't lose. Might lose a position to Pickles, but then behind him it's a long way back to the guy who's in last, so I think it's still Kvyat, unless he might have crashed. But we're both coming in for inters, me and Codfield, and in hindsight I can tell you that this probably wasn't the right decision, but for me it didn't really make much difference because the top 4 were so far up the road that I was only really battling Codfield, and hopefully we can overtake him anyway. But Pickles has gone past now into 5th place, so hopefully we can catch him. Obviously the inters will be slightly better than the wets, but it isn't really worth a pit stop. They're about a second or 2 faster than the wets, and I think I've shown that also I've got better pace than Pickles, if you don't mind me saying that. I should be able to catch him anyway, hopefully, especially with the tyre advantage on the fresh inters compared to his very old wets. But now on lap 25, Codfield's going very wide in this corner. I've just got to go straight past him, and I don't know if he's getting scripted to the inters very well, but it doesn't seem like it, as he's gone very wide through the chicane, and we're up into 6th place once again. And now we've got Pickles ahead of me with 4 laps left to catch him. He's quite a distance up the road, it must be about 6 or 7 seconds, but hopefully I can catch that up. in the 4 laps that are remaining, and it's going to be a tall order, but I reckon I can manage it. Hopefully I can certainly get close to him, because you can see it's only going to get better for the intermediate runners, which are me and Codfield. So now Pickless is right there up ahead of me, calling his tyres a bit. I've set a purple final sector on him, you can see, and put a personal best lap as well. Pickless on those wets, they're probably not suited to these conditions perfectly at all, but a lot of oversteer through turn 1, managed to catch that slide, and that's very satisfying stuff to do, as always catching slides is pretty fun, and especially in the wet, in a high pressure scenario like a league race, it's very fun to do. But now through turn 4, where I bottled it in quali twice, and we've got a decent run this time though, and Pickless is just there ahead of me. So can we try and apply the pressure, maybe force him into a mistake on this penultimate lap now, with only a lap and a half to go? It's going to be very difficult to get past him, I reckon, especially in these wet conditions. There's no DRS or anything, obviously, but he is on very old wet tyres at this point, and these fresh inters are starting to come into our own a little bit. A few more laps and it might have been worth pitting onto inters in terms of total race time, but it probably wasn't when I pitted. But yeah, it doesn't really matter for me, as I've said before. But now Pickless is right there, we're right at his back end. Can we try and make yet another move into this section of the track just after the chicane, before the next corner, and Pickless going through the corner? I take a much nicer apex and a better run. We're up the inside into the back straight, if you will, and we're up the inside now into the next corner, which has been my speciality of overtaking in this corner, it seems, as my teammate ahead of me sets the fastest lap, Amazed, and he's in 4th. You can just see how far ahead he is, but we're up into 5th actually, so that's decent, I think. And now coming to the end of lap 29, Devout has won the race, and he is also in F3 with me, and Amazed is in 4th, I'm in 5th. Solid points for Renault, my teammate. I don't quite know where that leaves me in the championship, but I think I'll take that 5th place, decent stuff, and especially from 15th on the grid, up 10 positions, I'll take it. And that has gone pretty well, so I'll take that. Amazed 4th, so we should be 2nd in the constructors, I think, just behind the team of the winner, I believe was Mercedes. No, it's Sauber actually, couldn't get it more wrong. And yeah, I think Red Bull might be ahead of us actually as well, but that is the full results then. Devout wins, Hotdog 2nd, Street Gamer 3rd, the 2 runners in 4th and 5th, and you can see the rest of the order there. A lot of people DNF'd, but it was obviously a very wet race, and it was quite a race of attrition. So yeah, I hope you did enjoy it. If you did, leave a like, subscribe for more league races. I'll be reviewing out AOR and STS now, so I hope you do enjoy it. Subscribe, leave a like on the video, and I'll see you next time.